Before we get started with today's video, I have an announcement to make. After years of telling other people's stories, I finally released one of my own. My novel Eternal Reign is available now in both ebook and paperback format for those of you who are like me and prefer to collect physical media. You can grab a copy right now on Amazon through the link in the description of this video. And now back to our regularly scheduled program. Since the Charlians are fully aware of the Scion shenanigans in the city, there's not really all that much more snooping around that they can do. Alice does feel a little bit miffed about the fact that whatever her dad's working on seems to be even more important to him than his own family, but that sentiment isn't shared by her mother, who had been on the way to the hearing the minute she'd heard her kids had been arrested, but it obviously ended before she made it. Since you all haven't been thrown out of the city, she's happy to know that the Forum let you all stay, and that she finally gets to meet the Scions of the Seventh Dawn in person. Technically, she's not supposed to be speaking to her kids since they've been disowned, but anybody who grew up with both parents at home know full well that when the dad dishes out a punishment that may be a bit excessive, the mom always loosens up the leash a little bit. Unless the kids have done some really heinous stuff, then they'll probably get in double the trouble. But Ameliance is not about to miss the chance to see her kids, who barely stopped by even before they got banished. Plus, she has some gifts for them at the house, and they will come and get them. Even people who fight gods know not to test their mother's patience, so the twins don't argue the point. Plus, Ishtola figures it's the perfect time to reconnect with Thancred's group to work on your next course of action. The Warrior of Light's not gonna be a part of that meeting though, because once the twins' mom realizes who you are, she wants you to visit her house too. She's not gonna keep you all for long because her husband won't be happy if he catches you in his house, so you all head off to their estate. It was always clear that the twins were rich, but seeing how their house is the size of a college campus complete with an army of servants proves that they have the kind of money that rich people dream about. Ameliance tells the servants to not tell Fortunato about this unscheduled visit and sends them off to get the twins' gift, which leaves you alone with her. The twins have been writing her letters telling her bits and pieces about their adventures, but she's pretty sure they left out all of the moments where they nearly died, just to keep her from worrying. She couldn't help them in any real way, so she did the only thing that she could, and that was send the Scions money. Her family clearly won't miss it, since I'm pretty sure I already mentioned the fact that they're really rich. After the twins met you, every single letter they sent talked about you a whole lot, so while the twins may hide it, they fanboy over you just as much as Graha does. Ameliance is happy that her kids have someone like you watching their backs, and since you have a few minutes to wait around, she wants you to tell her about some of the things you've all done together. Ameliance's gift turns out to be a brand new set of clothing for the twins, one that Alice is happy to see doesn't actually match, because dressing them exactly the same was always a terrible idea. Ameliance had one little bit of extra gear for Alphino that she stole from his father, the very cool and overly difficult to use weapons of a sage. Turns out while Fortunato spends most of his time doing paperwork now, back in his days as a student he spent a lot of time in the field blowing stuff up and healing people with the flying weapons. They work well in combat once you learn how to use them, and since Alphino will definitely end up fighting someone again in the future, his mother figured he should take the things, not to mention the fact that they cost a whole lot of money and using them as wall mounts was a waste. Before you all leave, she has one more thing to tell you. While Fortunato seems to be super focused on his mission, he didn't get like that until the day the twins were born, so while Ameliance doesn't know what the Forum is doing either, she's pretty sure the reason her husband is so focused on it is because of his children. Lastly, trying to win a battle of words with Fortunato is like trying to outlive Larry Wills, so if Alphino wants to get his dad to change his mind, then he has to prove that he's worth listening to by doing something extraordinary. It's good advice, so after telling their mother bye, you all leave the mansion to go and meet up with the others. When the two groups compare notes, Kral thinks that the best way to use your time is to attack the Tower of Zot. Since there's nothing you can really do in Charlian, that's as good a plan as any. Ishtola figures that she can try to figure out the whole connection between the Ethereal Sea and the Forum by sending a letter to Matoya before you all head off to Thavnir. From what Fordola and Arnval said about their trip into the tower, they weren't able to free the Amorja who were trapped in it, and when they tried, the defenses kicked in and Lunar Ifrit showed up. The extra protection doesn't make sense when you think about it. Just pulling people out of the tower kills them, so if there was no way to free them, why waste ether keeping people from trying? That probably means that there is a way to save the people that are trapped without killing them. The towers were made by magic, so there has to be something inside keeping them there. So that means if you find it and break it, the tower should vanish, and everyone will hopefully be freed. The problem is if you kill the primals inside, the people bound to the tower will be forced to summon another one, which won't exactly be good for them. So the Scions decide to divide up their forces. The people who know how to heal will keep the captives alive, while the rest of you look for the core and cut down anything that tries to stop you. So with the plan set, the Scions head to Leveilleur to finally take down one of the towers. And that's where we're going to stop for today. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it, comment, share it, and subscribe. Donate to the channel if you can, and I'll see you all next time.